I grew up in Shreveport. I grew up in a little neighborhood called Broadmoor. We lived on a little short one-block street called Verona Lane. It was great. It was almost kind of Norman Rockwell-ish. Just, a lot of families, a lot of kids. My dad was a salesperson for clothes and had traveled a lot. And my mom was, a stay-at-home mom.
As a young boy at St. John, he was a standout in sports, 4-H, student government, the president of his graduating class. In high school at Loyola Prep, he dedicated himself to studies and earned National Honor Society recognition. All the while, he was never a stranger to sweat equity, taking on tough jobs while in school, in the community, at the family farm, and sharpening a work ethic that prepared him to shape the future. This is Rick John.
We probably spent more time at my mom's family's house at the farm. You remember it fondly now, but at the time it was just a lot of sweat and hard labor that you were doing, baling hay, repairing fences, putting up fences, digging post holes. It instills in you the ability to do hard work and the appreciation for hard work and the appreciation for the finished product when you do it.
Rick is the oldest of 4 children, and he learned responsibility at an early age, often caring for those around him and always looking ahead with enviable energy. Rick earned his Bachelor of Arts from Tulane in 1990 and his law degree from LSU. As a legal mind, he has relied on law ever since to determine fairness and justice, and he's been an advocate for ethics and professionalism in the court.
In law school, what they do is it's not so much what they teach you, it's how they teach you how to think. It teaches you how to look at the law, how the law interacts with people's lives, and how it will be interpreted down the road. So, too often in Congress, when people are passing laws, I think too often our politicians and bureaucrats pass laws without necessarily thinking how it's going to affect real people in real life down the road.
Like many, the patriot in Rick John was stimulated in a time of crisis. But Rick did more than salute his country. He became a source of hope and strength for the men and women who defend our freedom.
After September 11th of 2001, I had learned of an organization called Soldiers Angels. So I'd contacted Soldiers Angels and I donated my Sky Miles to a couple of different soldiers. And so we had done that a couple of times, and it was kind of one of those things you pat yourself on the back and you go, oh, hey, we did something good, and that was great. And so life kept going on. And when Hurricane Katrina happened, I had learned that the Louisiana National Guard was rotating back from Iraq, and they were going to allow them to rotate back a couple of weeks early because of the storm, so that they could meet up with their families who had been displaced, and also so they could help with the storm cleanup. And so when I learned of that, I contacted Soldiers Angels and spoke with the founder of the organization, Patty Patton Bader, who was the great niece of General George S. Patton, and she had started the organization because her son was deployed. And when I contacted her, I said, hey, I told her the situation with the National Guard and how they were rotating back. And she said, that's great, let's start a fund. And then they gave them 72 hours to meet up with their family. So that was after being involved in that. Patty called me and said, hey, we're reorganizing the Board of Trustees. Would you serve on the Board of Trustees with us? And so that was where I ended up getting started with Soldiers Angels. I spent 10 years on the Board of Trustees. It grew from a small organization to becoming one of the most active military charities in the nation. At its peak, we had a budget of over $23 million. We had 230,000 individual volunteers.
At a time of political indifference, Rick John serves as a powerful reminder how one man can make a difference.
My wife and I had donated some Sky Miles, and I had to call the guy and set it up. And he was trying to get home to Ohio. His mom was dying. She had cancer, and he was trying to get there to see her before she died. And so we got the air miles hooked up, and I talked to him on the phone, and he explained it to me what was happening. And we got his flights to Ohio. And when he got to Ohio, I got a call the next day, and he was just in tears. And his mom had died, and he was calling me, thanking me, because he got to spend 2 hours with her before she died. And those experiences, there's dozens, if not hundreds of them that I've had working with Soldiers Angels and in life in general as an attorney. And those are experiences that make you an individual and it makes you want to serve and help others.
But making a difference in one person's life is not enough for Rick John. He's ready to make a difference in lives across Louisiana and America as a congressman with uncommon courage and character who will challenge the status quo.
I hear a lot of frustration. People are frustrated. Again, one reason I'm running is because I'm frustrated with what's going on in government. And so many people are frustrated. They're frustrated with the tax code. They're frustrated with the lack of common sense. The political correctness, people just can't get their mind around what road is this country going down with political correctness. People have to be stronger. They have to have thicker skin.
Rick John is a pro-life, pro-Second Amendment family values leader. Behind his soft-spoken, calm demeanor and Southern manners is a fierce advocate for a strong military defense, a balanced budget amendment, and the repeal of liberal agenda laws like Obamacare.
America's such a resilient country. And I don't, but I am very concerned that the path we're going down now is a path that we're not going to be able to recover from. And I don't want to see that. I want to make sure that we leave our children a country that's as in good of shape as when we received it.
America will always face challenges, but we are stronger when we send representatives to Congress like Rick John, a new breed of champion for people's rights who will stand up to challenges and stand strong for us.
With the farmers that I speak with, their main thing that they want out of a congressman is someone that they will listen to them and someone that they can speak to when they have problems. They want a congressman that will fight and will help them to be productive.
There's a paradigm shift in Louisiana politics, a move to resist the politically entrenched in favor of emerging torchbearers of new ideas. Rick John is not intimidated by power brokers, but stimulated by serving people.
And I think that as a congressman representing this district, you have to work to make sure that we get our economy rebounding and that people feel the energy and the success that comes with a good economy.
Ask those who know him best to define Rick John, and the answer is often the same. Prepared, professional, ethical, a common-sense voice of reason. A fighter who exposed corruption in the VA system. A common-sense counsel who will work to trim a bloated bureaucracy. An advocate for smart government compelled to use his skills for the public good and ready to bring a new brand of smart, sensible thinking to Washington.
We have to refocus government to doing the things that it was created to do. I'm Rick John, and I want to bring straight talk to Washington.
At a time in our history when more and more people have less and less faith in government, it's good to know there's a leader on the horizon who can change that. Rick John for Congress. Louisiana values for a stronger America.